I can't lose my virginity and I don't know what to do. The other day I tried, for the second time in my life, to lose my virginity. Both times have been unsuccessful because my vagina's too tight. The 2 times have been with 2 different people. The first time we had been drinking and I put the lack of success down to that. However, the second time I hadn't. So what happens the other day was I was with my boyfriend, who I like a lot, and we had been doing other sexual stuff for a couple of hours already. I was turned on. I was comfortable. It didn't hurt at all while trying to get his penis in me. We took it very slow. I had no issues getting wet, but it would just not go in. We tried different positions and to relax my vagina more, but we had no luck. I was so devastated I ended up crying in his arms. I really just want to be able to take him, and I don't understand what's wrong with me. If anyone's got any advice, I would really appreciate it. I feel super embarrassed and a bit guilty if I'm frank. You may have vaginismus or another condition. Why not go to the OBGYN and get it checked out? Visit the doctor. I had the same issue. For me it was imperforate hymen, a condition which makes the hymen way thicker than it's supposed to be. Basically unbreakable. I couldn't even insert a tampon. There was a tiny hole which allowed me to menstruate. I had an operation to fix it and everything works fine now. I know it's embarrassing, but ask your doctor. Didn't work for me because of a hypertonic pelvic floor. You may be a person who can practice with smaller and progressively larger items. You may also be able to go to your doctor for an imperforate hymen. It's a super quick procedure and can do a lot to help you with this. Good luck, girl. Info: have you been able to use penetrative toys with any success? Don't take this the wrong way. You seem to be placing a fair amount of weight on having sex, and it might be leading to some performance anxiety, and therefore you're having trouble sealing the deal. Feeling relaxed is so important to sexual function. Outside of that, some people are just smaller and require a slow build-up. Others might be dry and benefit from use of lube. There are exercises for vaginismus. Vag is after all just another organ in our body. Sometimes, like other organs, it just needs a little help. Nothing wrong with it. And your physiology is not a personal flaw. This sounds like textbook vaginismus. There are dilator toys available that start very, very thin that can help prepare you for regular penetration. You're gonna want to go to your OBGYN though, just to see what all they recommend. You aren't alone. This affects lots and lots of women, and you can treat it slightly smiling face. I was the exact same way. I couldn't even use tampons until after I had sex. It just takes a lot of trying. Lubrication is key. There are many on the market. Or you could opt for something natural like coconut oil. You can never have too much lubrication. I purchased a vibrator with a pretty small girth to practice, and finally, it worked out. I had that back in the day. Lots of fingering, lube and a super slow pace. No worries. This is normal. Hi. It's possible there may be like a hymen issue. Perforate or semi-perforate, I think it's called. Basically there's tissue blocking the opening. Have you ever been to the OB? This is something that should be checked by a doctor. Have you seen a doctor? It could be a lot of things. Not to discount anything else that has been said. Everyone has great advice. But was your BF fully aroused as well? Sometimes guys can get anxiety too, and it won't go in if it's soft. Could be a combination of factors if you've had success with inserting multiple fingers. Please go to the doctor. Just to get a checkup and to ensure everything is okay. And then try. And lube. Slowly. Hey, so this happened in my first serious relationship. My partner had this exact issue. Identical. We tried over weeks and months. Ended up with a doctor, and ultimately he gave us advice to relax and mentioned some people use weed or alcohol, hint and to use lube. We'd never considered the latter, as wetness wasn't an issue. But either way, together with alcohol and lube, it happened. And once it happened once. That was it. No problems thereafter. What did your doctor OBGYN say? If you haven't asked them, then that's step 1. This is a known thing for some. Practice with a vibrator dildo. Might be easier and less pressure to get it absolutely right. But also do check in with your OBGYN to ask about it. Have you tried using your fingers first? I had to work my way up from 1 finger to 2. And then penis insertion was possible. There might be an issue. But it also is totally normal for it to take time and patience and multiple tries. Ask your gyno if there's a physical problem and go from there. I'm a doctor. Albeit not a gynecologist, your lack of pain argues against having vaginismus. Maybe an imperforate hymen or perhaps a blind vaginal pouch. I'd ask you if you actually have periods. Purely out of curiosity. But you should see a gynecologist. You can try buying some dilators. They literally stretch the vagina to prep for a penis. Outside of that, an OBGYN gynecologist or a physical therapist who specializes in the pelvic floor are your best bets. Don't feel ashamed, this actually happens quite a bit to small-framed women. I can't even imagine if I had tried sex without using dilators first. I probably would have had a very injured vagina if I had tried. The first few times I tried to have PIV sex, I could not. Like physically, it just would not happen. I couldn't even say what changed. But the more upset I got, the less it was gonna happen. If you aren't, I would recommend having an orgasm or 2 before even trying for penetration. It's not just the wetness, but the whole muscle relaxes a bit after an orgasm. Good luck. Girl, there's nothing wrong with you. It sounds like you have vaginismus. It's something I have too that has made sex impossible. But you can buy dilators to train your pelvic floor not to spasm and clench, and it's super helpful. I went from not even being able to insert a Q-tip to the 3rd size up. There's hope. I had that issue too. It took a couple of tries before my hymen broke. Join us over at Our Vaginismus. You're not alone and there is support, camaraderie, success stories and lots of advice there for this exact issue. This happened to me. I wasn't even able to use a tampon. The only things that helped me were a pelvic-perineal rehabilitation with a specialized physiotherapist worth literally every penny, and once they show you the right exercises, you're good to go and can just practice them daily at home for free for as long as you need to see an improvement. B. Increase moisturizing inside the vagina using drugstore vaginal moisturizers. For me it now works, and not bad, I'd say. It took months though, but absolutely worth it. There are also therapists that work specifically with this type of issue. It is not uncommon. And you are not alone. Go to your GP and get a referral. They should be able to get you in contact with a professional.